Bismillah, alhamdulillah, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad nabi ummi wa ala alihi wa sallam taslima. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair wa bika asta'in ya fattah, amma ba'd. So we were speaking about Kitab al-Manuthurat wal-Mulah. Manuthurat, as we said, are those scattered or miscellaneous items. So they don't belong to one specific topic. Mulah would also refer to something which has flavor. But this is a topic that people would love to hear about and speak about. So let's continue the hadith because it's a very long hadith. We mentioned any person who meets Dajjal, recite to Dajjal the beginning of Surah Al-Kahf. And this is what? The first 10 ayat of Surah Al-Kahf. إنه خرج خلة بين الشام والعراق. He would emerge in a small area between Sham, Syria and Iraq. So there's some area between Syria and Iraq, Sham and Iraq, where Dajjal would emerge from. فَعَاثَ يَمِينًا وَعَاثَ شِمَالًا. He will be able to travel quickly and smoothly, right and left, east and west. Now, what does that really mean? It means while traveling, he would be able to, فَأَفْسَدَ فِي الْبِلَادِ, he will be able to bring fasad and corruption to the east and to the west. And the areas that he has entered, or that he's residing in, not only those areas would be affected by his presence, however, areas of the right and the left of where he is, those areas would be affected by his presence. So no mu'min, no believer and no kafir would be safe from his evil. Now, in the commentary also it is mentioned that Dajjal would be controlling armies, he would be controlling men. What we have to keep in mind, when, for example, a king conquers an area, so the king has entered such and such area, you would hardly ever say that the army of the king entered the area or the army of the king conquered that area. You would say the king conquered the area, but the reality is the king never even left his throne, never left his palace, never entered that area, never saw the area. Right? So in reality, the army of the king or the soldiers of the king, they conquered the area. But we give the credit to the king because his authority, his name is his authority. His name is his authority. So similarly, the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is not actually telling us here that Dajjal himself is going to be traveling Yaminan wa Shimalan, right and left, east and west. It's not him. He himself is not going to do that. Because there are some people we know in the past, they would comment on this hadith and they would explain, okay, Dajjal is going to fly from east to west, he's going to travel as fast as the wind, as fast as this, whatever. But it doesn't mean that. It means he would be in one place, or he may be traveling like a normal person, yes. But his effects, his armies, his influence, his long arm would be able to reach into places east and west. Now, look at, for example, we have things like the World Wide Web, the internet, right? That has reached, far and wide, east and west. The influence of different cultures of the world has reached east and west. So a person can experience the culture or the influence of another country or another person, and you can just sit in your home and you can learn so much about it. You can be influenced by so many things. So Dajjal, he would be able to use whatever is available in his time to influence the east and the west, or to bring facade and corruption east and west. Look at how quickly, for example, the times have changed. How quickly in a few years, right? So, for example, look at due to this COVID outbreak, there's more online shopping. If you would tell people to go and shop online, let's say 2 years ago, then they wouldn't really do that amount of online shopping as they have done now. If you would have told people to do more internet banking 2 years ago, right, or to invest in let's say cryptocurrency 2 years ago, then they would have never done something like that. But because of the conditions that are prevalent today, the conditions which are so open and so spreading today, and the need, people have been forced to do things that they never wanted to do 2 years ago. So if someone wants to remove and to destroy all a person's wealth, then all they need to do is, when you press up a button, or they hack somebody's account and they drain everything, right? A country could be rich today, and a country could go bankrupt tomorrow, just if the World Bank says we're not going to trade with you anymore, we're going to put you on sanctions. So the facade of Dajjal, or the system of Dajjal, it has been creeping in to the world for many years, many years, and we can see that the hadith of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is coming back to life, coming to life in front of us. This is something we would not have imagined 10 or 20 years ago. When we would have read this exact hadith, we would not have been able to understand how is it going to be possible for Dajjal to reach right and left, and we would have made up all different interpretations. Like one interpretation, that Dajjal is going to be traveling on the jet, One interpretation, Dajjal is actually the television, and so many different interpretations, but now we are actually seeing how it makes sense that from one place on the earth, a person can sit in one area and influence the east and the west, and bring poverty to the east or the west, to bring corruption to the east or the west, or even bring war to another country without even a proper reason. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, Ya ibadallah fathbutu, O slaves of Allah, be firm. O slaves of Allah, be firm upon your iman, and do not stray away from your iman. Now this fitna of Dajjal, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is only warning us to be firm because he knows this fitna is a great fitna. Because this fitna is a fitna of iman, of what you would believe in, a fitna of the heart. The heart becomes weak, or the heart is easily distracted, and Dajjal can swallow up a person's iman. So Dajjal will not tell you that you have to leave Islam and then be his follower. No, Dajjal will tell you can be a Muslim and you can still be a follower of Dajjal, and you can benefit from that. He will say to people, you can be a Christian and you can still be a follower of Dajjal. You can be a Hindu and you can still be a follower of Dajjal. So he's not going to tell you, hey, when you follow him, you need to change your religious identity. Look at, for example, the LGBTQ plus, whatever you want to call them, right? Many of them, when they are homosexuals, they say, well, okay, they can be a homosexual, and they can still be a Muslim. right? They say that, na'udhu billah. How wrong are they, na'udhu billah, to justify something like that? They can be a homosexual and a Muslim. Or like, for example, in India, when Sai Baba was alive, you can be a Sai follower and still be a Muslim. So they're not telling you to scratch yourself out of Islam, of being a Muslim. They are telling you, okay, let's join them, and you can keep your religious identity, right? There are masajid in the US which are homosexual masajid, so they do Jummah and they do everything, but they are homosexuals and they claim they have rights. But so Dajjal is gonna tell you, remain as a Muslim, be as a Muslim. You don't have to change your religious identity. You just have to accept him, right, as your prophet. Na'udhu billah, accept him as your Lord. So many fitan came to the ummah, in the past, and these are indications, kind of like allowing us to see the fitnas were just testing the waters. For example, in India, Ahmad Ghulam Qadiani never told the people they have to leave Islam. They said you can be a Qadiani Muslim. You can be a Qadiani Muslim. They accept him as a prophet, and they can be a Qadiani Muslim. No, how wrong is that? La ilaha illallah. So, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is telling us, be firm with our iman, or our aqidah. A person who is not firm with the correct beliefs, of course, a person can go and in these directions. Oh, I'm still a Muslim. I'm just a this kind of Muslim, or I'm just a that type of Muslim. I'm still a Muslim. So this is what people are going to say. Sahaba said, Ya Rasulullah, ma lubthuhu fil ard. How long will it last on the earth? Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, Arba'una yawman, 40 days. Yawmun ka sana, one day like a year. Wa yawmun ka shahrin, one day like a month. Wa yawmun ka jumu'atin, and one day like a jumu'ah, 1 week. Wa sari ayamihi ka ayamikum, and the remaining days would be like your normal days. So we'll pause here now, inshallah ta'ala. I know it's getting interesting, but we'll have to pause here, right? So we'll have to speak about the days, the 40 days that Dajjal would be on the face of the earth. We know the first 3 days will be very, very long. Now, will this lengthening and changing of the days be because of a natural phenomenon, or will it be because of Dajjal coming on the earth, that his presence is bringing that change? We have to try to understand that, inshallah ta'ala. Whether it will just be a natural phenomenon coinciding with Dajjal's presence, or is his presence actually bringing this change? So we'll have to speak about that, inshallah ta'ala. Wednesday, inshallah, when we continue the hadith, we will be able to speak about that, inshallah ta'ala. So let's pause here now, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.